Well, good morning, everybody. So I'm at the gym working out. I started thinking about something, and this stems from the interview that I did with Alex Sparks with Snowbound Kennels on my podcast. And, we got talking about closed-minded people that simply do not want to listen to other people in this industry. In fact, Alex admitted that he's been accused of pseudoscience. Oh, you believe in the pseudoscience. We're all out for the same thing, to help people maintain the behavior of their dogs and to have reliable working dogs. So I don't understand why there's so much hatred when somebody else really gets a method or a theory or whatnot. And so as I'm working out, I started thinking about it. You're only gonna get so far with a 5-pound weight to strengthen your body, to increase your endurance, to increase stamina, to increase strength. Not to mention what happens mentally when we work out and we push our bodies further than something like this. So where would you rather be? Would you rather be here or would you rather be here? Because in order to get stronger, you have to increase weight to improve your body. Well, our brain is like a muscle. We've known that through studying brain plasticity. Your brain can grow and shrink. But if you stay here, you're not going to gain as many tools until you open yourself up for something more. For those of you that aren't picking up what I'm putting down, as I put the weight down, think about it this way. I can write ideas in my take on methods or techniques or whatever on here, but I'm gonna run out. So this is a closed-minded person. You can only put so much on this. Compared to those that have a greater open mind, I can put more ideas, more theory, my perspective on theory, my perspective on psychology. Just because I've studied psychology does not mean I get it right all the time. I got people correcting me constantly. Hey, well, I don't see it that way. I see it this way. And I say, I never thought about that. Another thing that I thought about is this. Think about, my wife and I, we like to hike. And we talk to other people. And this, just recently somebody said, oh, well, I hike over here. Man, I love that trail. My experience, my perception is awesome. Like, I love it. And that made us go check it out. And so we went and checked it out and we had a great time. But imagine if I was closed-minded. Because my wife and I like hiking, this is part of what we do on an unconscious level. We tend to, when we have a self-concept, like if I'm a diehard hiker and I know everything about hiking, then subconsciously, a lot of the times, we won't listen to other people if we feel like they're smarter than us. And I recently did a video about that whole phenomenon, but it's a real deal. And I'm using my platform to help open people's minds to think about things differently. Listen, I have talked to people that had a really good method in training a dog, or a good theory of the behavior or the cognition of a dog, but they had a horrible explanation for it. Does that mean that they're wrong? Just because they didn't explain it the way you needed it to be explained for you to have full understanding? The answer to that question is no. It doesn't mean that they're wrong. They just need to open their mind on how to communicate a little bit better, right? There's times I've explained things and it made sense in my head. It's kind of like my horrible jokes. You ask my wife, sometimes my jokes are just terrible. In my mind, it seemed funny, and then the moment I said it, then I'm like, oh my God, I can't even believe I said that. So I just own it. I'm not a comedian. I tried to make people laugh before, and that's just not my forte. But anyhow, I hope you understand my point. I think in this industry, we need to get to the point where we stop accusing people of getting into pseudoscience, because I can tell you, for example, Alex Sparks from Snowbound Kennels, the guy's on the level. I've had several hours of conversation with him on the phone. He knows what he's doing, and he picked up on this stuff without studying psychology. He realized what I'm doing, traditional dog training, what I'm doing isn't working for this dog. So I need to think outside the box, and he would call and talk to other people. And there's many other trainers that would do that. Neil Fuser, Justin Rigney. These are some of the top professionals in the country, and they still will reach out and ask questions, and this is why I have respect for people like that. So I want today's message to be about opening your mind, not living in a box, expanding your thought process, and opening your mind to all these possibilities of understanding, of a new way of thinking. Remember, in psychology, we call those embodied cognitions. We can't learn without experience, and if we have a closed mind, we're not going to hear other people and their experiences, which trigger the ideas in us to go try new things based on someone else's experience. Or maybe somebody else has an experience that you've never experienced before. So now you're going to be consciously aware. Oh, this could happen. It's no different than what I've said in psychology. So many times I thought I knew why I was doing certain things, but it turns out my idea was dead wrong. There was a whole nother explanation as to why I was thinking and behaving a certain way. You realize most of who we are as adults is because of how we were raised as children, right? And if we were taught to only focus on ourselves and don't listen to anybody else because everybody's evil in the world, then that's why we are closed-minded in some cases. Now, this isn't for everybody, but you get my point. So I just want to encourage everybody to sometimes do a little less of this and do more of this. Do more listening. I know it's been very beneficial for me. I've learned new theories and new techniques and things that I had never thought about before. And things are always changing. I will never know it all, ever. I still make mistakes. It's an impossibility to know everything. Those people that claim, and these are few and far between, but there are those that exist out there that claim, oh, I know everything about dogs. I'm the #1 trainer in the country, or whatever. But the truth is, we have evolution. Things are always changing. Dogs are constantly evolving. Animals, the world is constantly evolving, constantly changing, constantly shifting. We have new technology coming out, fMRI imaging, and people like neuroscientist Dr. Greg Burns from Emory University, who trained dogs to lay calmly in an MRI machine, specifically studying the caudate nucleus in the brain, which is the reward center of the brain. This was groundbreaking. We didn't have this knowledge 50 years ago. So that's my point. Keep an open mind. And I think in this industry, we need to be banding together. It doesn't mean we have to agree. It doesn't mean we have to see eye to eye, but I think we need to stop throwing each other under the bus because what you're saying might violate my ego. I think we need to put the ego to the side because in the end, we all want to help people with their dogs, whether it's civilians, whether it's law enforcement, military, service dogs, it doesn't matter. We want to help people, and more importantly, we want to help the dogs live a fulfilled life. There's only one way to do that. That's to educate the owner of the dog, whoever it may be. And if we have a closed mind and we teach someone else that you only do what I say and don't ask questions, don't talk to anyone else, you're putting them in a box. Because if you have a toolbox with 10 tools and the job that you're doing requires tool number 20 that you don't have, you're not going to solve the problem. You're not going to fix the problem. So I want to encourage everybody, keep an open mind. Life is short. We love animals. We love specifically dogs. Why can't we be a little bit more open-minded and not so brash? I'm okay with being wrong, and I hope other people get that point, that it's okay to be wrong. Because I would rather be wrong and learn that I'm wrong so that I could figure out how to do it right instead of living the rest of my life believing in something that's just not accurate, right? So for me being wrong, it's more of a blessing than it is a curse. So I hope that I can inspire some of you to understand that and to harness that. And I'd love to hear some comments on this topic. What do you guys think about closed-minded trainers and people with their strict, methodology and training methods that is not, and a lot of it is not backed by any scientific fact at all. It's just best guess. But I'm curious to see what some of your thoughts are. So I'm going to keep this short today. Look at that, I beat 10 minutes. All right, until next time, stay safe, watch your six, and as always, Semper Fi.